avec un warm-up. Pour le warm-up, it says write out the passé composé conjugation of the verb partir. So yesterday we talked about the 17 être verbs. Partir is one of those. So can you go through and do the past tense conjugation? So for example, we'll do the je form together. We've got to have our subject, we need to have our helping verb, which in this case would be être. So for je, we would want je suis. Then we want our past participle of the action verb itself, and parti. Okay, then when we're conjugating, we have to think about who the speaker could be, right? As je, the speaker could be a guy or a girl, right? So what we want to do here is put in parentheses any additional letters that we might have to add on, right? For je, it's always going to be singular, so we don't need to add an S at all, but it could be a woman speaking, in which case she would have to add an E. And we're going to make sure that we separate il and L, because with these verbs, they'll both have different spellings. And we'll do the I'll give you a minute to think about that, and then we'll write these up on the board. Okay, tu fini? Okay, bien. So what do we have for to say you left?
To our party. Oh,
A.
I was.
Yeah, did you? Okay, yeah. So we want for all of these, we're going to have the form of être, since it's the same verb here. So we want to a partie, and then do we have the possibility of any other letters?
That would be.
Yeah, we might possibly be talking to you, right? Marie, did you leave? And so in that case, we would add on an E. Okay? How about for the il form? He left. Il est parti. Il is always gonna be a guy, and it's always gonna be one person, so we don't have to worry about adding on extra letters here. What about for L?
LA party.
L-A party. And here, I'm gonna add the E, and I'm not gonna put it in parentheses because we have to have it. L is always a girl, right? So we have to, or something feminine, so we have to have the E there. Okay, then we want for we left.
New song party.
Okay, and how should party be spelled, or what are the possibilities here?
You could have an ES on it.
Yeah, let's see here, so. We have the possibility of adding on the E.
Oh, and then the S.
Yeah, but we'll always have to have an S.
I just put them both in the phrases.
Oh.
I'll put that.
Okay, yeah, so we, will always be more than one person, so we have to have the S. It might be a group of we, as in us girls, so in that case, we'd also put an E in there. Okay, good. How about you?
Blue set party.
Okay, and additional letters here?
ES.
Okay, yeah, so here, we might be speaking to you, one person, in a formal manner, in which case we wouldn't need to have, the S, but we also might need to use it. Same thing for a feminine, right, group, so we'll put both of these here in parentheses. Okay. And then, for il, they left.
You song party.
Okay, what about the extra letters here?
You could have an S on
Yeah. Okay, just an S, the S has to be there. They will always be more than one person. Okay, and then they feminine,
it. Song party.
and how would party be spelled in this
Have
one?
an ES on it.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Okay, I'm gonna erase this. And we'll do one more example of an être verb conjugated, just so you can have two different ones here in your notes. We'll take the most common one that we use, which is aller, to talk about where people went. So, here we want je suis allé. Tu es allé. Il est allé. Elle est allée. Nous sommes allés. Vous êtes allés. Ils sont allés. And elles sont allées. Fix the camera here, make sure we can see that. There we go. Okay. Also with ale in particular, because it is a verb that begins with a vowel, what we can do is create liaison when we're speaking, and what will happen then is we'll end up pronouncing the S on suis, and I'll make it sound like a Z. So je suis allé. To a, never mind, we won't worry about that right now. We'll just separate. I can't remember what the rule is on passé composé with liaison, so we just don't worry about that for right now. So we'll keep them separate, so je suis allé, tu es allé, il est allé, elle est allée. so maintenant, regardons les devoirs. Et je t'ai donné, I've given you exercice 3 à la page 13.
I have
So-
a question.
Oui, c'est...
I think Isabel was the one that was sunbathing, and I couldn't remember how to say that.
Oh, sunbathing, yeah. The easiest way to say it would be bronzer.
Okay.
And bronzer is just a regular ER verb, it takes avoir and passé composé, so you would say, her name, or elle a bronzé. So remember, for passé composé that take avoir verbs, you don't need to add on any extra letters to the past form of the verb. Okay, bien. So, let's see here. Okay, let's, well, go ahead and read me your sentences.
Okay, mine's-
Sure.
I think I'm confusing myself. I'm trying to, change them.
Oh, let me kind of take a look and we'll see what I did here.
So I had something else, but then I think I changed them to, 'cause these are supposed to be avoir, right?
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Mhm. yeah.
I changed it.
Yeah, I think, depending on what verbs you use, but probably most of these were all avoir. Yeah, I think that's okay now. Okay. Okay, bien. So, pour, let's see here. For Isabelle, we could say, Isabelle, qu'est-ce qu'elle a fait? What did she do?
Isabel Avanti.
Oui, elle a bronzé. What about François? Qu'est-ce qu'il a fait?
François Nagi.
Oui. Et Hélène
And a fait de la voile.
a fait de la voile, oui. Et qu'est-ce que Élise a fait?
Elise a pris des photos.
A pris des photos, good. What about, qu'est-ce que Damien et Julie ont fait?
Damien et Julie ont couru.
Ont couru. Oh, that's a good question. Bonne question. I don't remember. I'm gonna look that one up. I think it might be couru. It might be a regular. Let me see here. See if it's in my book. Oh, there it is, okay. Passé composé is, yeah, it's actually irregular, it's couru, C-O-U-R-U. This kind of happens to be a strange one there. Okay, bien. What about Philippe et Valérie? Qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait?
Philippe et Valérie monté un cheval.
Mm-hmm.
Or cheval.
Ont monté les chevaux, yeah, chevaux. The plural of horses would be chevaux, A-U-X. Not to be confused with cheveux, which is hair. Okay, et Monsieur Vénard, qu'est-ce qu'il a fait?
Monsieur Vénard
A
a dormi.
dormi. Et Madame Vénard
Madame Vénard a nettoyé une voiture.
a nettoyé une voiture. Alice,
Alice a joué une guitare.
good. Et finalement, Caroline et Jean-Pierre
Caroline et Jean-Pierre ont mangé.
ont mangé. Excellent. So it's good, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, let's see here. Maintenant, tournez à la page 15 et regardez exercice de dialogue. Since Lauren's not here today, you and I can do this together. It's just a back and forth. It says, avec votre partenaire, composez et jouez l'un des dialogues suivants. We'll actually go through all of them. So pretty simple here. You're taking the guy, for example, says, tu as étudié hier soir? Did you study last night? She says, non, je suis allée au ciné. I went to the movies. He says, oh, qu'est-ce que tu as vu? What did you see? She responds, un film policier. So the 4 verbs that they give us in each set here, we're gonna substitute in for the dialogue, if that makes sense. So I'll start out, I'll ask you the questions and then you give me the answers. So, point numéro 1. Marie, tu es restée chez toi ce week-end?
So I should say no, I'm going to the country. Like.
Right, you
No,
would say,
just
no, I went to the country.
Okay. That makes sense. Me?
So go ahead.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, répondre, that's okay.
No, je suis allée à la campagne.
Ah, et qu'est-ce que tu as fait à la campagne?
Je suis une promenade à vélo.
Okay, now here, une promenade à vélo. So, they're not giving you a verb at all, so you can just respond with, if I say, what'd you do, you can say a bike ride. So,
okay.
une promenade à vélo, that's fine. Okay, and numéro 2, I'll have you ask me the questions. So you're gonna start out and ask me, did you go out with a friend on Saturday?
To a sortie at my samedi.
Okay, good. Now remember, sortir is an être house verb. So it's not tu as sorti, tu es sorti avec ton copain samedi. Ah non, j'ai fait des achats.
To acheter. Oh, what I'm saying. What did you
Yeah, what did you buy?
Qu'est-ce que tu as?
Excellent. J'ai acheté un blouson. Okay, numéro 3. Here we've got rentrer, which is the être house verb, so I'll ask the question, tu es rentré chez toi à midi?
No, je suis déjeuné au restaurant.
So you would respond back just with j'ai déjeuné. They're trying to confuse you because they're using both, we're using both être house verbs and avoir verbs here. So déjeuner, just a regular old avoir verb. J'ai déjeuné au restaurant. Ah, qu'est-ce que tu as mangé?
J'ai mangé
Une banane, d'accord. Okay, that'll work. Okay, and numéro 4. You're going to ask me, did I come to the party on Saturday? So venir, it's an être house verb. Okay.
So, tu es venir à la bonne dimanche.
Non, je suis allée au théâtre.
Qu'est-ce que tu as vu?
J'ai vu The Nutcracker. Voilà. Okay, excellent. Let's see here. Okay. So in exercice 3, same thing. We're using both être house and avoir verbs. First, they want for us to tell where these people went. So you're just using one of the forms of aller that we have up here on the board. And then they want for us to tell what these people did, which really can be any verb depending on what it is they're doing in the picture, right? So for the first one here, we have Paul et Robert. If we wanted to give a sentence to say, they went to Paris, what would that sound like en français?
Paul et Robert. Always.
Right. Yep, so you've got your different
So,
examples up here.
Paul et Robert sont allés à Paris.
À Paris. Okay, good. Et qu'est-ce que Paul et Robert ont fait à Paris?
Paul et Robert ont pris des photos.
Yeah. Now, when you're responding, you don't need to repeat fait.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's just,
So-
pre is a verb.
Yep, exactly. So you can just say Paul et Robert ont pris des photos. They took pictures. Good, okay. What about Juliette? Où est-elle allée? Where did she go?
Juliette est allée au Canada.
Oui. Et qu'est-ce qu'elle a fait? We might say she's in the process, we could say maybe she took an airplane, or she flew.
So, is it avion?
Mhm.
Okay. Juliette est pris un avion.
A pris un avion. Elle a pris un avion. Bien. Okay. Et Monsieur Ramirez looks like il est allé en Egypte et il a monté, well actually we could say, let's see here. Okay, et il a monté en chameau dans le désert, oui. If you are going up, if you're riding something, you use the verb monter, but you use avoir with it, which is a little bit confusing. As opposed to just going up, like going up the stairs, you would use être. Then we have Alice et Julien. Where did they go? Looks like elles sont allées, or ils sont allés à la montagne et ils ont fait du vélo. Oui. Caroline, elle est allée dans un arbre et elle a construit une maison d'arbre. Une petite maison d'arbre. The rest of these, the verbs, we might not know how to describe. But okay, excellent. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do, I'm actually going to give you a couple of exercises from the workbook. We haven't looked at those yet. And this will give you some practice both with avoir verbs and with être verbs. So I'd like for you to take a look at, let's see here, page 12. And I'm going to have you do exercise 2, ce weekend. This is dealing with passé composé with irregular verbs that take avoir. So we wrote a couple of them up on the board the other day, and we'll just go through and make sure that we know all of the past forms of these. So I'll write them up here on the board for us. We've got the past form of avoir itself is eu. Past form of boire, to drink, would be bu. The past form of être itself is été. Faire becomes fait. Mettre, to put on or to turn on, like a TV, is mis. Prendre, to take, becomes pris. Dormir, to sleep, becomes dormi. Voir, to see, becomes vu. Apprendre, to learn, becomes appris. And then promettre de, which means you're giving someone permission to do something, you're permitting them to do something, becomes promis de. So notice that promettre has the verb mettre, apprendre has the verb prendre, and so the past forms are conjugated the same way. Okay, so again, these all have in common the fact that they are irregular, and they all take avoir as their helping verb in passé composé. So then what they want us for us to do in this exercise, it says, let's see here. You'd like to take a survey at school in order to know what people did over the weekend. With the given verbs, formulate questions, and you're going to be using the vous form for each one, it looks like, right? So with numéro 1, we would ask, est-ce que vous avez eu, and then you might have to fill in with something, right? You might say, est-ce que vous avez eu une pizza, or something like that. Then, I'm also going to have you work on exercise 4 on page 13. Here, you are using specifically être house verbs in the passé composé. And so you're just reading through the passage and you're filling in with the correct conjugation of the verb and passé composé. So you wanna make sure that you put in each blank space both a helping verb and also the past form of the verb itself. Okay?
So kind of like etra, when you say like est que vous êtes
No.
or etra.
No, you wouldn't. For être, when être is the action verb itself,
Mhm.
it takes avoir as its helping verb. So your sentence would look like, or would sound like, est-ce que vous avez été?
Okay.
You're saying like, were you could say, est-ce que vous avez été malade, or est-ce que vous avez été à l'école?